Welcome back to Why Jasmine Everyday Cooking. Our chili is cooking right here, and I would like to introduce you to Scott Hammerson from Wegner CPAs. Scott, would you join us, please? Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell us about what you're making today.
Well, the recipe is called graham cracker pudding. It's about as old, at least as old as I am.
We won't go there.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
When I was a little kid, it was my favorite recipe to make, and actually was probably the thing that got me involved in cooking in the first place.
Oh, well, there you go. You never know what inspires you to cook. And this looks pretty nice. I know I have tried it before. It's delicious. I actually, when I had my piece, I made a big pot of tea and had that, and it was fabulous. Okay. So let's see.
Okay, well, the fun part about this, and actually my granddaughter and I yesterday practiced, and we made a couple extra ones for our guests today, but the fun part of this is separating the egg white from the egg yolk. And I'll just maybe tell a little story. When I was a kid, there was a very good friend of my mother's, Aunt Esty, and I would go over to Aunt Esty's house to play, and she would cook with me, and we would do this recipe.
Sure.
And I think every kid needs to have an Aunt Esty in their lives, because we could make a mess in the kitchen and do all sorts of stuff. I think sometimes maybe parents are more concerned about the messes being made by kids in their cooking.
Yeah, but you know, that's the fun part.
But Aunt Esty and Aunt Lee, my granddaughter yesterday, and I made quite a mess in the kitchen doing this.
I'm sure.
So 4 eggs goes into this, and the fun part about this is the egg white becomes part of the recipe, and the egg yolk becomes the custard part of the recipe.
It's working.
Yeah. And you can buy these egg separators. I had to look around a bit for them, but
they
do sell them. Can I mention
think
stores here?
Yeah,
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Sure.
That one. Okay.
That's okay. They have quite a selection, though.
And
one more.
I had not used an egg separator before, but it worked very good. Oh, perfect.
So 4 eggs, and that's going to be the custard, right?
Custard. And maybe you could help me make the custard this time.
I would love to.
Great. Requires a little bit of patience here.
So baking is really not my deal. I like to just throw things in and they work. See, that needs patience.
And I've pre-measured everything here too. So I've watched how you put spices into things. When you're baking, I don't think that works that way.
No, that's why I can never be a good baker, because it needs time and a lot of measurement.
If you don't have the right amount of cornstarch in here, it doesn't work. Okay,
there you go.
So the egg white right here becomes a meringue. The egg yolks become the custard, and we're going to put 2 cups of milk with the 4 egg yolks and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, which I have also
And we'll have the recipe on our website, whyjasmine.com. So if you are thinking about trying it, check it out. So I have to mix it.
Do you remember our last show when you took over my cooking for me?
Well, I'm trying not to do that. That's why I'm asking permission all the time.
Well, thank you. No,
you're welcome. Don't want to be there again.
While you're doing that, then in the egg...
Can I break these yolks?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, you made custard. I've seen you make custard on the show before.
But this is your custard. That's not my custard. I just want to be sure. Okay, it's working.
Oh, we better put... you know, yesterday when Annalie and I were making this, I forgot the sugar in the custard.
Oh, sure.
And so there's a half cup of sugar in there as well. And I tried the custard right before it went into the dish, and it was not sweet. And I don't... That's why we
Could you add
recipes.
it though, or no at that time?
At the end, I did.
You did.
So while she's doing that, we're going to put a 1/4 cup of sugar in with the egg white. And I don't know if the camera can kind of see that, but we're going to whip this up with a beater here.
Okay.
While you are
just making
getting that.
So how do you know it's ready?
It'll be thick.
It will be thick. So you just kind of watch for it.
Yeah. Okay. And it'll come to a boil, and right about at the boiling point, it gets thick.
Okay.
I should say all this goes into a graham cracker crust, which we rolled out yesterday. You put a stick of butter in with a full packet of graham crackers.
No wonder it tastes so good.
Yeah, and I actually added some sugar to that as well.
Oh, nice.
Which was a little extra. So there's probably about a cup of sugar in here as well. But my daughter's in the audience today, and she likes this recipe, and she's
Oh, I
always happy
bet.
when I bake.
I am sure.
Well, my mom is here too.
All right, and your sister?
Uh-huh. I have a whole family here. They like my cooking, I guess. Huh?
I guess so. Well, that's nice. Because cooking is about, sharing it with family and friends. It brings everybody together. And food is good. Around the dining table, we're just a bunch of hungry people. So that's how it works.
So if you do that at home, particularly get the kids involved, because Annalie, and she's only 3, thought the egg yolk running out of the white running out of the yolk was really cool.
Fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you are going to beat up the whites and make a meringue once this is ready. So how will the layers go in your dish?
Okay, so when that, it looks like that's almost done, that will be the first layer in the graham cracker. And then the second layer will be the meringue, and then we'll sprinkle a little bit of graham cracker on the top. And bake it for 30 minutes at 325.
Oh, our custard is ready, and that meringue looks really good. And that looks beautiful, actually.
Well, I do have to mention, too, while I was whipping, I forgot another ingredient. You have to put vanilla in there.
Of course.
I didn't remember that while I was whipping.
Sure.
So that's about a teaspoon of vanilla.
Okay. And then this goes first?
Yeah, so if I'll do that for you.
Okay, thank you.
So the first layer is the custard, and it's nice and thick and hot and
looks fabulous.
Sugary. Like I say, my granddaughter was enjoying eating the custard as it was. Actually, she was sticking her fingers in the custard. But don't worry, they were clean. So,
and then we're going
to put the meringue on top, and that whipped up very nicely.
Yeah, look, that looks fabulous.
And so we put a layer of meringue on top.
And as Scott is doing that, we actually have gifts for all of our audience. And so here we go, from Wegner CPAs. And isn't that beautiful? And actually it says, don't get burned, go with Wegner CPAs. I thought that was a good line. So enjoy the tools.
So we spread that as evenly as you can along the top.
Okay.
And we're going to bake this in the oven for about 30 minutes.
It's going to get all set very well.
And I do have a couple of finished products. Actually, I made 2 of them yesterday, so make sure all our guests today had plenty.
And then a bit of that. Sure.
Sprinkle this on top.
Looks great, and it's pretty easy to make, isn't it? Well, Scott, thank you so
Took
much.
about 5 minutes, didn't it?
I know. Almost. Well, thank you so much for sharing the recipe and the story. And we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll put this meal together, make some cheese bread. So we'll be back in a minute.